Well, many of you would say it's about time, PJ. I've been waiting on you to come and speak to me. Welcome to my study here in my home. It's a Saturday afternoon, and I thought that I would take some time to speak with some of my friends. I see here to the side that you can go live if you wish to. How do you get along in the world that you live in today? I think that's an excellent question to ask, but there's certain things that I think you need to know about me, your host, as I appear from time to time. This journey of mine began so many years ago, and putting it to words in terms of things that define my life, well, I have an awful lot to share with you. Professionally, I was a pastor for years and an apologist, a Christian apologist, one that defended the Bible 100%. I don't defend it now 100%. I take what I can use out of this Bible. I have one right here, the one that I've used over the years. If you watch some of my old sermon clips of me preaching, this is my preaching Bible right here. This is the Bible that I use. And I still have it kind of worn around the edges, as you can see, but it still serves its purpose. And you can tell where the New Testament was used a lot here. That's the New Testament and the epistles. And I deem myself a pretty smart theologue, even into this day. Now, the reason that I chose the Bible is because I'm not Muslim and I didn't grow up in that culture, nor do I forbid the reading of other books. As you can see in my library here, and you're in my study, and just got on a pair of shorts and my shawl. It's about 75 degrees outside, warm enough, but I wanted to scoot back. I have on shorts, I'm okay. But I wanted to welcome you into my study and show you some of my books and things like that, and just have a good time to hang out with you and share a little wisdom. I guess the question is, how are you getting along in this post-COVID era that we're living in? How are you getting along? Especially if you're a senior citizen. Right now, at the taping of this piece, I'm 78, going on 79. And a lot of people say, PJ, you look pretty good for 78. Well, I feel all right. I exercise. I eat correctly. I take care of myself. I rest. This is a nice little bed couch here in my study when I have to take a rest from doing my studying, my reading, my contemplating, my going over my old work and putting them in some kind of chronological order, taking my blood pressure, staying hydrated. If you're an old person, like I am, you got to stay hydrated. You got to keep your mind active. You have to not let things affect you. Now, how do you do that? And how do you do it consistently over the years? First of all, know who you are. I'm speaking as now. This is some of the things that I used to say when I was pastoring the church. And I'm thinking about it out loud. I don't want to go back into the pastorate. I don't want to do that. But I was thinking here, sometimes as I listen to my music, you see my CDs there, and I listen to music in the background, and I'm studying and I'm reading, or I go outside and and experience sunshine right outside of my Lucy Coleman studio. That's what I call this space that I'm in. How do I get along with it? And let me see this. If I wanted someone to, the slow mode is on. I wanna say thanks for coming by. Okay. All right. Let me see that. Thanks for coming by. And if anybody else wants to come and chime in, you can do that. So I'm a senior citizen. I'm fully retired. I'm no longer a pulpit pastor, not because I'm not capable of being that. I'm very capable of being it, but I have no trust and validity in the Christian church today, because the Christian church, in my humble opinion, has given itself over to whoredom, money, popularity, fame, a disgusting kind of company that the church has made, because the church is supposed to be the place where you could go to that institution and find ethics blended in everything that we stood for back in the day. Young men sometimes bring me tapes of what's going on in churches today. And to tell you the truth, to me, maybe it's because my brain has been worn over by intelligence, or at least what I thought was intelligence, but I can't stomach to look at these modern day places that they call church, either on the internet or on cable television or any kind of television. I just can't make myself watch it. This is a Saturday afternoon, and when Sunday comes, this is what I do. When Sunday comes, oh, here they are. Here they are. Excuse me for stooping down, and I have CDs and DVDs all over this place, and I have to show you what I'm talking about. When Sunday comes, if I want to see a sermon, and this sermon is on my website, on my YouTube page, The Judgment of God. When I want to see preaching, I go to one of my DVDs and I watch that on a giant TV monitor that I have here as I recline, because I'm on certain medications. That's why I don't drive anymore. As I recline and I'm thinking about my life, my work, and the documenting of it, but especially how I can help these young people that are here in this culture. I love the culture that I'm living in. You know how when certain senior citizens get to an age and they say, oh, I hate this place, I hate this place. I dislike getting older, because when I get older, I can't get around. I'm not as, let's see if I can, I'll show you. What the heck, I'll show you. See, I can stand up and I look athletic. Let me back up. Yeah, this is me. I look pretty athletic. I learned how to do my exercises and things like that. Let me adjust this thing and so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. See? See, a lot of people don't know. They think that PJ is just trapped at home and he's no. I'm enjoying myself. I can do squats. I have weights that I can lift. I do my calisthenics when towards the window. I'm moving around, taking care of myself, keeping very agile, making sure that I'm very athletic. I'll show you for an old guy, just keeping it real. I'm trying to keep up with these youngsters around me, but you have to do that if you're going to stay well and if you're going to stay healthy. You have to do that. I want to admonish you other senior citizens out there not to give up on you. This is how you survive in this culture. You survive in this culture by competing with all of the other things that people in this culture are competing with. I'm PJ. The PJ stands for Pastor John. I'm reflecting now on my life. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see that I have pictures of me some 20, 30 years ago. And I tell stories with those pictures. You go to my Facebook page, that is, because when you go to my Facebook page, you see all those pictures at different times, different loves in my life, different people. I do not run with church people. I don't do that. I go to church now and then. And when I do go to the church, I go to the Vision Church on Melrose, I think it is, when I do attend. But very rarely do I go out because I'm recuperating from my heart procedure, and I had another procedure, and it takes time. And so I'm doing well. For me, I'm exercising, my mind is clear. But let me say this. Do you have an ethic? That's what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. This is why I love this. I love the way I have my study set up. I'll show you this book here. And I'm going to be quoting from this book, and I hope you can see it in the right way. The elements of moral philosophy, because I taught philosophy and I taught ethics, and this was a book that we used. And I want to share a few things in this book with you, and so that you know what I'm talking about. Because there are, here it is right here. Different cultures have different moral codes. Now, I can really say amen to that, because as I am alive in this culture that I'm living in, I'm finding out that these youngsters have completely different moral codes than the moral codes than I came up with, ethically speaking. And so in order for me to get by, I have to stop trying to push my view on young people and allow their view to sink into my mind, because I've outlived a lot of my peers, and I thank the Creator God for that, because He has something for me to do, like He got something for you to do, and you to do, and you to do, and you to do, and you to do. He has something for all of us to do, and am I doing it? Then there's cultural relativism. We live in a day and age where people are saying, well, everything is relative. I remember when a young rap singer recently came out, and he became very popular. He was in his young 20s, very energetic, a beautiful body, just this dark brown, beautiful male specimen, athletically and intelligently, with his rap songs and everything. But what he was doing in the culture, they accepted it as okay. We would have banned it. that would never been on television if I were his age growing up. And I'll be sharing some of those things with you, and so that you can tell the difference as you look at that. And then we have the cultural difference argument. In other words, are we able to live with each other and exercise our different cultures without getting at each other's throats? Or without, a lot of people that I meet, they think that, oh, well, since you're an ex-pastor, you're going to shove this Bible down your throat. No, because I never shoved it down mine. Let me tell you how I survived this, all right? Because that was a time in America when I believed that the Word of God really sustained America. I believe that. I believe that now. And I believe that some of the calamities that we're suffering and confronting now are because and I know this is going to sound very corny and very old-fashioned, but I want you to listen to the old man as he tries to share something with you. That these things are coming upon us because we have disregarded the important things in life. I'll put it that way. And developed our own cultural relativism. Okay. Now, there's something else that we discuss. Subjectivism in ethics. There's where we have the basic idea of ethical subjectivism. In other words, anyone's ethics can become subject to another person's and can be diluted or dissuaded. These are some of the tactics sometimes that attorneys use. And, I'm beaming with joy when I use the term attorney, because one young man that I groomed, he stayed with me a number of years, enters into law school in this coming December of the year 2022, and has completed his world travels and is doing very well. He pleases me. And that's what I want from all the young men that I meet. And for those of you that are senior citizens and still alive and can help some of these youngsters in your neighborhood, in your tribe, love them. Just love them. The easiest thing for any of us to do, setting all the books aside, and it's a good book. Yeah, Elements of Moral Philosophy. I used it. Love these youngsters. It doesn't take much. Trust me. No. It takes being that parent. It takes being that parent and being a person that really, really wants to give themselves for the other person instead of being selfish as an old geezer. That's how I get along in this world. I'm telling you. Let me give you a little bit of insight about me, and I'll be reading from portions of, I'm supposed to be writing my memoirs, my book, so to say, like that. So I'll be reading from that. I have a little thing down here in front of me. I've always been into computers and doing things like that. And OPJ is the same man. And for those of you that used to take classes with me and have been wondering what happened to me, I'm here. But as Christianity and the church leaders, because you saw what we allowed ourselves to get into, and what I mean by we collectively, all of us collectively did that. We allowed thieves to get behind the pulpit, to rape us of our monies and of our talent and of our brains. And then these thieves took theology, which was somewhat grounded, although biased with racism and other taints of superiority. We went through that. I was aware of that, though I never taught that when I pastored because I loved the people that I shepherded and I did not want to do them that way. I came in contact over the years with numerous pastors of all nationalities. I've done retreats up in Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear Lake, here in Southern California mountains. I've done retreats. I've been the guest speaker. Some of these people are still alive. They remember me. When I first started doing ministry, if you look at the old pictures, my hair was black. And I had a little white patch about right here. One little white patch. No, I don't dye my hair. This is my hair. This is me. This is what age will do to you. Age will sage you. Age will make you a sage. Age will make you the rage as a sage, and it will cause you to engage. And while you engage, you participate in the human exchange by loving that individual. I said, you gotta love those youngsters. And you senior citizens, instead of you become stoic in your mind, break away. I was speaking to my sister today. She lives in Chicago, and she says, Junie, I'm so glad you called me because I was just looking at TV, and sometimes that falls into a habit. I know what you're talking about. You don't want to do that. You don't want to fall into the habit of sitting in front of that screen like that. You've got to be alert enough to know that God, that's right, you're a creator. And God's not no white man. God's not no black man. And maybe one of these days I'll get into the discussion with you about who Jesus is. Now, I tell you, when I spend my time reading my book, I spend my time looking at the red letter editions. You see that? You see how those red letters there? Those are the letters of Jesus. At least that's what they tell me. So since those are Jesus's words, those are the ones that I want to read. Those are the ones that I want to pay attention to. I read the other parts of the Bible, but only to pick up hints as to what made my life successful. I'll tell you, I drink alcohol. I do. I like the effects of alcohol. Not now, while I'm older, because alcohol mixed with the meds that I'm taking is disastrous for me. I really can't remember the last time I had a glass of wine because that's disastrous. If my mind is going to be sharp and if I'm going to stay ahead of the game with everything that I have to confront, I have to make sure that my mind is clear and I don't want to fog it up with alcohol. And I think a lot. I think a lot. A friend of mine, I called him and invited him to come by and have dinner with me yesterday. He declined, but he chided me because I didn't vote. And there's a reason that I don't vote. I understand we have a new mayor of Los Angeles. I didn't vote for her. I didn't vote for the guy that was running either. I don't participate in that. Those of you that think it's important to do that, if there were only 3 people in the city of Los Angeles and 2 people were running and the one person had to vote for him, that one person decides who's who in this thing called the zoo. That's why I don't vote, because I think independent of anyone else. And it nurtures my heart and my soul. No, I don't ride the coattails of your success, because if you think that your vote counted, good for you. You keep voting. If that's what gives you the stamina to go forward. You know what gives me the stamina to go forward? To ignore that foolishness. I'll show you something. recently I purchased this jewelry, and it's an interesting piece because it's supposed to be, a lot of people would think Jesus, but what the author of this piece did is he specially painted the head and the hands and the feet black because he was saying, Jesus was not a European, and I know that. And so I purchased the necklace. It's one of my finest pieces of jewelry. And I wear these beads, and I know what the counting of the beads are and what it stands for. I looked it up, and I believe in that. That helps me, that keeps me going. I'm changing my frame of reference as I get older. And I bought a white coconut little square cake today, delivered to the house. I had one slice. That was enough sugar for 8 days, I'm telling you. But you have to stay healthy and take care of yourself. I'm going to stop this at 30 minutes. I just wanted to come and let those of you that have subscribed to my YouTube page, thank you very much. I would hope that what you hear, what you see is encouraging to you. I look at my life, and the only thing that I can say is that I'm very well pleased with it. And I trust that in all, what I should have done? I should have hooked up my big mic here. See this big mic right here? That's my radio mic when I did my webcast. And so next time I come on, I'll be speaking in the big mic. Love the youngsters around you, senior citizens. Put your tradition behind you and ask how you can help some of these young men, especially in the African American community. They need a lot of help, some of them financially, emotionally, spiritually. Step in there. Make a difference in the world that all of us live in. As you know, I'm not trying to be popular. I'm just trying to do this on the fly. And my talks will be just like this. I'll have a thought, and then I'll think about talking to you and hope that you can tune in. I don't know whether let's see. I don't know whether, well, we'll try to do that next time. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube page and for allowing me to take a little time and spend it with you. May God bless you.